little peek behind the curtain for the fans. We met, I guess, pretty randomly on Reddit, like 6 weeks ago or so, and just been chatting since then. So
yeah, I made a post because I've been wanting to start like a Formula One podcast. Just because I have really nobody to talk to about this sport. And I just kind of made a post saying if anybody out there had any like suggestions or fresh ideas, and you made a comment, and then you just kind of DM'd me and we just kind of talked a little bit more, got to know each other. And then of course I found out that you actually sort of work in the industry and that, you know, you wanted to potentially help out with the show. And then it just kind of turned into both of our show, which I think is awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we talked about early on, like starting the podcast and what we kind of wanted. We kind of had similar ideas about how, you know, we both started with Drive to Survive. And I think most, if not, well, I'm not gonna say all, most newish fans in North America, that's how we've gotten into it. And it's become huge. Like you saw the numbers at was it COTA for the US Grand Prix last year? Like the numbers are rising huge for North American fans. And we sort of want to be like a voice for, obviously for fans, long-term fans, but also the new fans that are sort of like us, that are still learning. Like we're not going to pretend that we know everything about F1. We're going to make mistakes, and if we do, feel free, listeners, to tell us. Don't be too mean about it, but yeah, feel free to tell us. But yeah, like I think we're both kind of in the same boat in terms of we want to have a voice for like-minded fans. And just kind of, there's, especially over this last off season, there's just been so much like crap with like what happened, and just there's not too many podcasts in this space necessarily, especially in North America. And I don't know, I think it's a good opportunity for us, hopefully, and we'll just see what happens, right?
Yeah, for real. And like you said, it is definitely soaring, the popularity over here. But at the same time, I only know one person, and like out of my coworkers, my friends, my family, one coworker that watches Formula One. And, you know, that is just like insane, because I feel like this is like the most, like it's the coolest, most fascinating, intense, and fun sport to watch. So yeah, I definitely think it's a great opportunity. And I do think it can be a little bit intimidating to get into the sport because it's nothing like any other sport. I mean, I guess like something like NASCAR, you know, obviously is similar, but at the same time, like they have very few similarities. Yeah, exactly. Besides just a guy behind the wheel of a car.
Right.
But yeah, definitely the sort of like the thesis or whatever of the podcast is just sort of, we want to try to help sort of expand the Western audience to Formula One, and sort of give the new fans kind of a chance to give them a place to go to sort of like have a discussion, and just basically have two people like us to sort of like be the voice, or basically just to answer some questions or whatever that may be. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it can be like you said, a bit intimidating, kind of a tough sport to kind of jump into, because there is like it's a very steep learning curve to really understand everything. Like even when I like tell people that I've fallen in love with F1, most of their first thing they say is like, oh, you just like watch a car drive around a track for 3 hours, and like, well, no, first of all, that's NASCAR, but second of all, like it's completely different. There's so much behind it, all the drama and like the inner team workings and the cars themselves, and like there's just so much fascinating stuff to it, and it can be like a little bit almost intimidating to get into. So I think if we can help, like you said, maybe, I don't know if help, you know, it's hard to say we're going to help, but if we can just sort of be like a place for like-minded people to congregate, and we can chat with, and just to see where it goes and have fun with it. And it should be hopefully an amazing season.
Neither of us are experts by any means. You know, we're both just a couple of guys that we're just fans, basically. And I definitely think that that's a good thing. That gives us a chance to sort of lessen the tension, I guess, or make it a little less intimidating. You know, if someone's listening to a dumbass like me talk about Formula One, then that make it a little bit easier to sort of get into the sport. But yeah.